Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to update you on a couple of things that we're going to be doing a little bit differently around here, and then take you into a really important lesson that I've learned or relearned again in this process of moving. So the channel's going to change up a little bit, where videos are going to come as and when they need to. There's been a few days recently where I've really felt like I want to share, and having the restriction of only doing one video a week on a certain day just sort of doesn't flow for me at the moment. So I'm going to change it up and do videos as and when I want to. So be prepared to just get emails. If you're not on my email list, drop me a DM and I can get you on there. The key thing that I want to talk to you about today is this idea of loving yourself and dating yourself first. So when we started this whole process of deciding to move, life got very busy, and since we've been back in South Africa, it's been 6 weeks, things have just been crazy. We have had weddings, birthdays, buying of houses, buying of cars, starting of jobs, just like reacquainting ourselves with all of the shops and brands and life in South Africa. And something that I realized this week is I actually haven't taken enough time to look after myself since we've been home. I've been spending a lot of time focusing outward on everything else that needs to be done, and my business and my well-being and my boundaries have kind of taken a bit of a back burner. Now, this is not in a bad way, in the sense of, I've not burnt myself out or upset myself or, not, done things that I didn't want to or anything like that. It's just about finding that new level of balance in this new world that I'm living in. So my favorite thing when I notice that this is happening is I love to do what I call date myself. And this is about taking myself out. And it doesn't have to be anywhere fancy, like you can just go down to the beach or down to a park or to a cafe that you absolutely love, or maybe a new spot that you want to try. And you just go on the journey of giving yourself, say, like 2 hours to just sit and ponder whatever question feels right for you at the moment. And that can be anything. The very first time I dated myself was back in 2020, when literally everything in my world felt like it was falling apart. I felt like I was pretending to be somebody online who was like happy and always positive, and actually in my personal life all of the grief was just pulling me apart. And I took myself out. Back then I was still in the UK. I went down to the beach, and I remember sitting on the beach in Bexhill looking out at the sea, and the question that I pondered and just like made some notes in my journal on was, can happiness and grief coexist? And can business and grief coexist? And those were really important questions that I needed to explore and answer. And right now I'm finding that there's this massive shift. There's a lot of, I want to call it like duality in emotions and the feeling that's going on. I'm feeling a lot from my clients and from my friends and from people around me that there's this kind of tug of war happening at the moment as we come into the last quarter of the year, where a lot of people are thinking they should be pushing more, they should be getting their goals done, hitting their resolutions, doing all of these things. But actually at the same time, they just feel really exhausted, they feel really tired, there's a lot going on. And I realized that I'm also kind of feeling that way. I've got some really big goals that I'm still pushing to get done by the end of the year, which I'm super excited about. But with everything that's going on in my personal life, I am really tired. And it's just about having that balance of saying, okay, how do I look after myself and still meet my goals? How do I understand what are the goals that I need to push towards and what are the things that need to go on the back burner? How do I remind myself that the last day of the year does not mean that anything is like ending, or or that the goals can't happen in the new year. Like, if you take the biggest goal that you want to achieve right now and you work towards it and you got to, you know, the 31st of December and you hadn't achieved it, but you achieved it on the 2nd of January, would that be the end of the world? No, of course not. So I think just taking off this time pressure and actually just asking yourself, like, what is the critical question that you need to ask yourself right now, that you need to ponder on, that will actually really make your life better right now? What's the conundrum? What's the thing you're stuck with? What are the two dualities that you feel like might not be able to exist at the same time, that you really just want to tap into and understand? And I'd love to hear your questions in the comments below, because when you read other people's questions, it can give you a new perspective of things you might want to think about yourself. Now, if you are sitting there thinking this duality is something that you'd love to know more about, but you're not 100% sure what I mean by it, or, you know, how to start exploring this duality, how to start exploring this, you know, polarizing feelings that you're feeling all in your body at the same time, then I would love to invite you along to come and join the Soul Code program. So we're going to be opening up the Soul Code group next week, and the first live call is going to be on the 17th of October. And we're going to have 9 months, and every month there's going to be a learning module. So you can bring in this duality that you want to really nail down. You can bring in a project that you want to finish over the next 9 months. You can bring in anything that you are experiencing at the moment, and we will start to pull that apart and look at how can we be more abundant, how can we lean into this shadow and light at the same time. And I'm going to be sharing all of the lessons that I learned over, I'm going to say, a 5-year period from 2017, when I got made redundant and lost my aunt and my kind of grief cycle started. And I'm going to share all the way up to the point of right now, in this present moment, having literally just paid the purchase of our new house cash, bought both of our cars cash, being completely debt free, living in the country of our dreams, living the life of our dreams. Like, me in 2017 didn't believe any of this was possible, and I had to do a lot of work to not only shift my belief, but also create the world and take the action to get me to this point. And I want to show you how you can do that too. So if you're ready, I will drop the link for Soul Code below and you can come and join me. But otherwise, I will see you in the next video.